Everyone, welcome back to another lesson here on the channel. Today we're going to talk about something that pro Amazon FBA sellers do and amateurs do not. This could be the thing that makes or breaks your Amazon FBA selling journey, and it all starts with how you're doing product research. In a moment, we're going to be stepping into my computer. Stepping into it, that would be uncomfortable, cramped. We're going to be taking a look at my screen over my shoulder and actually showing you the product research technique that I use. I don't want to self-identify as a pro, sounds a bit arrogant, but I am documenting my journey here. For those of you who might be new or don't know my story, I started private labeling 6 years ago. I private labeled for about 4 years straight until I ultimately decided to stop private labeling and start brand building. Now, how do I distinguish that? Well, I distinguish that by saying that when I brand build, I still buy my own inventory. I still come up with my own listing. I still list on Amazon. What's different? The difference is that I'm building enterprise value in my company, okay? So that I start to own the traffic, not just earn the traffic with paid ads. I start to develop an email list in which I can continuously reach back out to customers. I vertically integrate into a customer's life where I can provide them with several things they use in this specific niche area in their life in which they have an interest in it. And more so than anything, the topic of today's video is going to be when I'm researching this customer. We say product research. I almost hate that term. Product research, what? You mean like research and development? You're researching the product on how to make the product better? What does that mean? Yeah, it's the wrong term. Market research, customer research, call it what you will. Product research makes no sense. And so that's where people get tied up. We're starting from a place where we're shooting ourselves in the foot. Anyway, we're going to jump into my computer now. Whatever. I'll see you in there. We're in a little tool called Black Box by Helium 10. By the way, Helium 10, 35% off 4 months right now till the end of the month. Got a sweet affiliate offer discount for you guys. Win-win situation. I get a small discount. I get a small commission. You get a great discount. So yeah, if you're going to get it anyway, appreciate using my link. It'll be in the description. And don't skip ahead, please. If you're doing product research this way, we're going to start with the beginner way or the amateur way. I want you to tell me, is this you, right? So you select your categories. You're here in Black Box, and some of you have this tool already. You know what I'm talking about. If you don't, just, you can still hang around because you're going to learn something. You select your categories. You go price. I'm going to look 15 to 50 maybe. Right, I'm going to go into my review count. I'm going to go no more than 100. I've heard all over YouTube that no, you don't want more than 100 reviews, and that you go 20,000 revenue to 100,000 revenue. Let's see what we got. Okay, and we hit search. Is this a possible way that you could do product research? Yeah, but as we established, product research is a little bit of a fraud. Product research, what are we talking about here? Already, we're just exactly doing that. We're looking at products that other brands and companies sell. We are kind of missing the point to say, look at this mini car vacuum. They do 44,000 a month. Come on, look at that, right? And they only have, where's the reviews? Which one is it? They have 38 reviews, right? Outstanding. Now, I just list the same thing in a different color, and all of a sudden I make all this money. And it's just not true, right? So you're already jumping to a conclusion. You're already assuming that this was just already profitable. But let me tell you something. 38 reviews for a electronic product at $50 with all those accessories in that case size. Even with that revenue, bet you their conversion rate's not great with that 4-star rating. They're probably not making any money. I bet you they're running a lot of ads, losing a lot of money, and probably selling at a loss. So we have to start knowing that even the products we're looking at may be flawed, and we might not even see that. We might just assume they have 20% margins. Okay, excellent, right? They make $9,000 a month in profit. It's just not true. And so where does that differentiation start to occur between amateurs and pros? And it's in this moment. I'm going to be willing to say that scrolling through and looking at individual products, it has its place. We don't need to renounce this. The method is fine. It's what the thinking is in using this method from an amateur point of view that tends to be the problem. Okay, so already one of the things that I look for, one big change that I started to make eventually, is that I'm starting from a place where I know that I have a customer with a specific niche interest relates to a large number of other customers in this niche interest, and I know they're already searching Amazon for it. And so if I have to start from search volume exists, traffic exists. It's why I'm selling on Amazon. I want to get in front of customers, okay? And I want to sell them a product. So why don't we just start with, here's a group of customers. And now Helium 10 was very smart. They thought about this and they included a way to look for customer search terms. And so even that small difference, when we start to look for search terms, and we start to think about the customer first instead of just the product first, I don't even like the name, I cursed the name product or the word product from my mind for a long time when I started my brand. Seriously, I was like, no thinking of products. We're not thinking of products. We're not doing product research. We are finding customers that will become raving fans if we build the right brand for them, if we tell them the right story, if we make them feel understood, right? We appeal to the way they've identified themselves with this interest that they have. So let's start there. Okay, and I can go 1,000 minimum search volume. And you might be saying, Paul, why wouldn't you do 10,000? I thought you said you like 10,000. Maybe you've taken my 7-day free challenge down below to help you find, your first product. Link in the description if you haven't already, but maybe you've seen that and I say 10,000 there. Why 1,000? I can use long tail keywords that I find in this research phase to direct me back to a market that might have higher search volume. And so I actually have a higher chance of finding ideas if I'm not so constrictive in my thinking during this research phase. Make it relatively broad to start with. So I'm not going to enter what I want to see here. I'm going to give myself breathing room on both sides. And so I can go to monthly revenue. And I can use that same, there's nothing wrong with that monthly revenue we had edited in before. That price point, let's get rid of anything in the teens or the tens. Let's start at $21 to $55 or so. Why 21? Why not 30? I thought you said in your free challenge you like 30. Yeah, that's what I'm shooting for, but we can provide that breathing room on either end. Now review count, 100 reviews. I don't care. I compete with a listing of 16,000 reviews that's sold nationally, even internationally. In retail store, you go down to your local store, wherever you live, I promise you find this brand in your state and in your town. That big of a brand I'm competing against. I don't care about reviews. Makes no difference to me. What I do care about is the size of the market, how many units brands start to sell a day once they get too big. But general size of competitors, I don't care. Categories, we'll go and we'll look through one at a time. Okay, a good rule of thumb, Helium 10's kind of built a little bit of a safeguard into this. If I so 200 results is too many, right? Because they're essentially saying 200 plus, so they've capped me out. Now, maybe you've heard this trick in other videos, maybe you haven't, but we want to get that video to be a little less than, that keyword to be a little less than 200. Because that means that we have not maximized the results that we're seeing in here. We could even close this up. We're gonna go 33, we're gonna go 40,000. That'll probably be low. Yeah, there we go, boom. So we're right under 200. And already, so knitting kit for beginners, adults. A little bit of a redundant search term, but I bet you here's a great example. This has 2,000 search volume. There is definitely search volume for other search terms that are maybe even shorter than this. Knitting kit, crochet kit, all of these things, right? And now this is a funny thing that this popped up. I know there's a brand named Wubbles here. Where are they? They're definitely here. Yeah, they're the bestseller. Wubbles is an outstanding example of what to do in the pro way of approaching this research that we're talking about, right? Pros versus amateurs, okay? Amateurs, they go and they look at a product, they say that product's making money, I'm going to sell that. That's my proof of concept. I'm going to sell that product. Change my packaging a little bit, change my price a little bit, change my listing a little bit. No. See, you've already gone back to being an amateur. The pros, the way they think these things through, and what I've modeled all of my brand building after, and what's driven real success to me, financial stability to me in my business, is making a unique offer for a unique group of people, thinking back to the customer's specific interest. And they've done this in a way that increases the chance the customer will come back to them again to have another experience with them. So then we start bringing lifetime gross profit into the equation, not just one and done, buy my product, see you later, hasta luego. No. A pro is building a brand, and let's just assume they're going to have an outstanding listing with great creative elements. I'm not here to tell you you can change your packaging and increase your sales. We all know how effective rebranding is, the psychology of seeing something that looks appealing to our senses. We're not even going to bring that into the equation. We're going to bring in their positioning, their brand positioning, right? Amateurs are not thinking this way. And so when you start to think like a professional e-commerce giant, you start to look at these customer segments, and check this out. We can go see all keywords on top keywords, and we start to position offers for them that are unique to us. Okay, you have to come to me to buy this thing. So we see that, like, for instance, crochet kit for beginners, 80,000 search volume. And just a 90-cent PPC bid. Okay, their products were $30, $37, $35, $37, right? They are running profitable ads. And so we can look instantly all the way through what's happening here. Instead of just looking at products assuming we could sell the same thing. No, let's look at search volume. Let's look at customer interest. Let's think of the community. Are those people likely to become raving fans? Crocheters, knitters? Hell yeah. Right? That's like a tight knit, no pun intended, community. Right? That's a very specific thing. That's a hobby. Okay? And so when we combine hobby with traffic that we can target, with there's no existing great offers, meaning think of the market before Wubbles entered. It looks, and by the way, these were all inspired by Wubbles. They came up with a small character thing. It was a lot of just this. It was just this stuff. Kits with no direction. Well, they started to see through their research in their customer demographic, that crochet archetype, they like going and buying recipe books on Etsy for crochet. They like sharing the biggest YouTube videos about how to create these specific little things. Why don't we give them the blueprint for a beginner to crochet something to completion in one go, in one sitting, with great examples, of course with great creative. And then the next time, if that was fun, they do a craft night, their friends, they want to do it again, they want to get their friend a present, or they just want to do another one, they have to buy a new kit. Because sure, you can now go buy some blue, some white, and some yellow thread, but I'm giving you just enough for this one night, okay? And then you come back, so they've turned it into a repurchasability. From selling, look at the competitors, by the way, selling massive spools of yarn, $29.99. Look at that, 62 acrylic yarns, crocheting it. Look at that. Oh my goodness. You will never have that customer buy from you again. You've given them a lifetime of yarn, especially for the beginner, right? Now, is that a different customer is buying that? Is that different? A little bit. But do you see the merit in this way of approaching research, where we find the customer, hang on, it's not too expensive to rank for those ads. There's a lot of customers looking for this, that we can think of who that person is. We can build this cutesy little brand for them. We could try and think through how to increase lifetime gross profit. We're really setting ourselves up for success when we look in this way. Versus, doesn't that now, it makes it just seem so barbaric and just overly simplified. Like you're clearly missing something to just say, we're going to go look for products that sell a similar thing and make money. That's just not what we're doing. It's not what I do. It's not what I teach. It's not what I talk about. It's not what I document, or there's no merit in any of that. So yeah, thanks so much for being here. This was really fun video. Sometimes I get in the groove and it's just like, I want to talk about business. This is one of those days. So be sure to like and subscribe if you happen to be new, and I'll see you in the next one.